As Africa once again becomes a global strategic battleground, Israel's growing infiltration of the continent reveals an agenda aligned with Western hegemony, exploitation, and the erosion of traditional solidarity with Palestine. Africa is once again being carved up not through maps and treaties, but through surveillance networks, military pacts, and secret alliances. At the heart of this new scramble, the Israeli occupation state has methodically infiltrated the political, security, and economic machinery of the continent. Behind the rhetoric of development and partnership, Tel Aviv's African campaign is nothing more than an extension of its colonial project to dismantle the historic solidarities with Palestine, secure strategic footholds on a resource-rich continent, and bring African states with arms into the service of Western and Zionist interests. Although Israeli-African relations have never been the focus of urgent attention, Operation Al-Aqsa Flood has brought them back to the forefront of concerns. This offensive by the resistance, which has reshaped regional alliances and exposed long-standing complicities, has also highlighted the entrenchment of the occupying entity in Africa. That same year, South Africa filed a historic complaint against Israel at the International Court of Justice, accusing it of committing genocide in Gaza. This initiative not only underscored Pretoria's commitment to the Palestinian cause, but also reaffirmed the continental legacy of resistance to settler colonialism. Today, this legacy is being revived in response to Tel Aviv's growing expansion. For decades, Africa has been more than just a peripheral interest for Tel Aviv. Behind the facade of development aid and agriculture, in a continent with 1.4 billion inhabitants and spanning more than 30 million square kilometers, lies a concerted campaign of political interference and covert operations. Yet Africa is not monolithic. The mosaic of regimes, priorities, and foreign alignments across the continent has allowed Israeli interference to take on various forms, adapting to the internal and external dynamics of each state and often exacerbated by external power struggles. Over the past 2 decades, Israel has actively established itself within Africa's security apparatus. Under the guise of fighting terrorism, it has set up espionage and surveillance regimes from Kenya to Nigeria. Institutions such as Mashav, which claim to promote development, actually have a dual purpose: to extend soft power while establishing Israeli control structures. The Galilee Institute, for example, recruits African officials through programs that combine management training with intelligence paradigms, thereby creating elite networks trained to promote the Israeli worldview. Israeli cyber companies, particularly the NSO group, have exported invasive spyware such as Pegasus to repressive governments in order to track dissidents and activists. After Operation Al-Aqsa Flood, these operations intensified, with reports indicating that intelligence services are tracking the Palestinian diaspora and the movements of the resistance axis across Africa. While strengthening its enterprise, Tel Aviv must contend with fierce competition. The Horn of Africa remains the continent's geopolitical flashpoint. It is in fact the entry point to the Red Sea, a vital artery for the states of the Persian Gulf, through which 40% of the world's oil trade passes. Russia is expanding its influence from Ethiopia to Sudan. In Eritrea, it is investing in strengthening joint military capabilities and gaining naval access. In Somalia and South Sudan, it takes advantage of resource extraction and the political vacuum. The growing support from Moscow and even Tehran for Sudan and Eritrea is based on the rift between Khartoum and Asmara on one side and Washington on the other. China, for its part, has established itself through trade, with a volume reaching $167.8 billion in the first half of 2024, as well as through infrastructure projects and a naval base in Djibouti. In Ethiopia, it is financing mega energy projects such as the Grand Renaissance Dam. Beijing's discreet diplomacy combines mining operations in Eritrea with oil projects in South Sudan. Today, Africa resembles a chessboard where foreign powers compete until checkmate. Israel's multifaceted grip, diplomatic, military, and economics is no exception. They often intersect with and benefit from the interests of the Persian Gulf, the West, and even China. But this presence remains fragile, dependent on corruptible regimes and the prospects of normalization. As for the African states themselves, they are far from passive. They are in the process of recalibrating, seeking a balance between their old allegiances and new opportunities, fully aware that in a rapidly changing world order, their sovereignty is the ultimate stake. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. You can also follow us on our various platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and especially on the African social network Iba World, available on Android and iOS. For those who are interested, you can also join our WhatsApp community. All useful links are in the description.